Become AutoCAD expert step by step. Hello my dear friends, I am your guide Amit Garg and you are watching my channel CAD by Amit. Friends, in the previous 3 lectures we have finished important commands from the modify panel. The lectures were lecture number 14, 15 and 16. Now in this current lecture, that is lecture number 17, I am going to start with the simple drawings. Here we are going to learn the application of some of the draw commands and the application of some of the modification commands. If you have not gone through the previous lectures, please do it now. I have given the link of these lectures in the description of this tutorial. So let's get started. Drawing number 1. In drawing number 1, we have a square shaped geometry. The outer is a square of each side equal to 60 millimeters. And then we have two vertical lines at the distance of 20 millimeters and then again 20 millimeters. So let's go to the model space and try to make this drawing. So I copied and pasted this drawing from the layout to the model space just for the reference. Now for the outer of this geometry, I can use a rectangle command or I can even work with a line command. So this time I'm going with the rectangle command. I'll pick the rectangle command from the draw tab. I can take it from here. Now this lower left point I can take in the alignment of this point in the horizontal alignment, and I'll simply click here and then I'll type down @60, 60 because length and breadth of this rectangle are same, is basically a square. As I press enter, we get a square. Then we have to create these two vertical lines, and for making these two vertical lines the best option would be to use the offset command. But before we can apply an offset command on a rectangle, we need to explode the rectangle. The reason is rectangle is a polyline object, so all the 4 lines of the square or of the rectangle are actually joined together. So before we apply the offset command, we need to explode it so that all the 4 sides get separated out. So we go for explode command. The shortcut is X, enter. I click on the square somewhere and press enter. Now all the 4 sides of this square are separated out. And then we go for an offset command having a shortcut O, enter. The distance I want should be 20 millimeters. So I'll take the offset distance value as 20, enter. I'll select this left side, click here on the right hand side so that we get one offset line. And then we again select the same line. We again click on the right hand side to get another line. And the geometry of the drawing number 1 is over. Then we have to place these dimensions. Now for placing the dimension, I'll go to the dimension tab and I can pick the linear dimension because linear dimension is used for placing the horizontal and vertical dimensions. Now for picking these endpoints, we should switch on the endpoint option in the object snap, which is already on. You can have a look over here. The endpoint option is already on and the object snap option should also be on. I say OK. I click here, I click here, and we get the first dimension. Now in case I want to place the dimensions in the continuity, we have a very nice option here with the name continue. I'll go for a continue option and just need to select the second point and then press enter. So we get both the dimensions coming up in the same alignment. Now for this vertical dimension, I'll again take the linear option. I'll pick this point, I'll pick this upper point, we drag it and we click here to get a vertical dimension. We again repeat the same command. We pick the left corner, we pick the right corner and we drag it and we click here to get the horizontal dimension. So this is how we finished drawing number 1. In the next drawing, that is drawing number 2, we again have a square geometry here. I mean the outer of this drawing is a square geometry with each side equal to 60 millimeters. And then we have 3 sections here, each having a length of 20 millimeters. And then we have one line which is starting at a offset or at a gap of 20 millimeters from this point and joining the end point of this horizontal line. So let's go to the model space and start working on drawing number 2. Again, for the outer geometry, I'll use the same rectangle command. I can even type it down. REC is the shortcut, so I'll just type down REC on the command line. Now the first point should be in the alignment of this one. So I'm taking it in the alignment. I'll simply click here, and then at the rate 60, we get the outer square shape in the drawing number 2. Then I simply explode it because we need to offset it now. Go for an offset command by typing down O. Value is already set to 20, so I'll press enter. I'll select this line, click on the right hand side, select the line, click on the right hand side. We get 3 sections. Then even this horizontal line is there at the gap of 20 millimeters, so we can select this horizontal line and we can click downwards so that we get this horizontal line coming up at the right distance. Now these two vertical lines, we need to remove this part of these two lines which is going further this line, this horizontal line. So for this I can work with the trim command. So I'll just simply type down TR for the trim command. I'll take this particular line as the cutting edge, enter, and I can make a crossing window to trim both the lines. Now for making or for starting a line which is 20 millimeters below this point, I can take the line command. I'll catch this point using the object snap, and then I'll simply move the cursor down. I need not click here. We'll start getting one inference line. Now this inference line is coming up because of object tracking option. So in this case, we are working with the combination of object snap with object tracking to get this inference line, and I'll simply type down 20 because the starting point of this line is 20 millimeters below the end point of this horizontal line. So I'll get this point, and then we can simply, I think there is some problem. I'll again do this. I'll go for a line command. I'll catch it from here, move it down, and then type down 20. Yeah, here we get it, and then we can simply join it to this end point of the line, and here we are. The drawing number 2 is also complete. Now starting with the dimensions, I'll click on the dimension tab, take the linear option, click on this endpoint, click on this endpoint, drag it and click there. Then we need to place 2 more dimensions which are in the continuity. So I'll prefer working with the continue option. Just pick the second point, just pick the second point. We get all the 3 dimensions coming up in the continuation. Similarly, we go for a linear option again. I click here, I'll click here to get this vertical dimension, and then I again go for a continue option and just select the second point and press enter. We get the second dimension. Then we click on the linear option again. We pick this endpoint, we pick this endpoint, drag it and click there to get the vertical dimension 60 millimeters here. And finally, another linear option, click here, and we get the length of the square as 60 millimeters. So drawing number 2 is finished. Friends, in the drawing number 3, we have 2 orthographic projections of one component, and the projections we have here are front view on the left hand side and the side view on the right hand side. Now this front view is having an outer profile having a length of 100 millimeters. This is 25 millimeters. On the left hand side, this is 50 millimeters length, and then we have this way, the geometry is this way. Now for making the outer of the front view, we can again work with either with the rectangle command or with the line command. So let's start it in the model space. So we are in the model space. For making the outer of the front view, I am using a line command here. I'll catch this point so that we get the reference of this. We make it in the alignment. I'll simply click here, move it towards left hand side. I already have ortho command on because I want to make orthographic drawing right now. I'll simply type down 100 to get the length as 100. Move it upwards here the height is 50, so we get it 50. Towards right hand side this is 75, so I type down 75. Now as far as this inclined line is concerned, I cannot make it unless I have the reference of this vertical line here. So I'll just come out of the drawing right now. I again enter into the line command. I catch it from this endpoint, move it up and type down 25 to make this line segment of 25 millimeters, and then I simply join it with the endpoint of this particular line segment. So the outer geometry of the front view is over. Now for making this inside, I can use the offset command. So I'll go for an offset command. Now this distance is 15 millimeters. I'll type down the value as 15. I'll pick this line and click on the right hand side. Then the gap is 45 millimeters. So I'll change the value of offset distance to 45. I'll pick this line, click on the right hand side. We got it that way. Then this gap is 40 millimeters. So I'll again use the offset command with a value of 40 millimeters. I pick this line and move it down. So that way we get these three lines. But then we need to trim these lines. The extra part of the lines are to be trimmed. So we can work with the trim command, enter. And this time I'll simply press enter to select all the lines as the cutting edges. So I'll simply press enter and I can click on the extended part of the lines to just remove them. And here we are. We have just finished the front view of this component. Now for starting with the side view, I can again take the line command. I'll take the reference of this point because it has to be in the horizontal alignment. I'll click here, move it down, and the height of this should be 50. I'll type down 50 here. Now we go for a offset command. I'll type down the value of 25 because here the offset is 25, the distance is 25. I'll select this line, click on the right hand side. Then we come out of the line command, offset command. I'll take the line command, join this endpoint to this endpoint, and join this endpoint to this endpoint. Now for making this profile, actually this profile represents this feature in the front view. So that means this dimension should be equal to 40 millimeters. So what I'll do is I'll take the line command, I'll take this point, I'll catch this point, I'll move it down and just type down 40. So my line will start at a distance of 40 millimeters from this point. Move it towards left hand side, type down 15 and just join this line to the end point of this line to complete it. Now friends, you can see one dashed line here. This dashed line is actually a hidden line. This is showing me this particular cut here, because when you take a projection, even this cut will be shown with the dashed line. So for that we should already have the hidden line loaded there. If not, then you can click on the other option and you can click on the load option and you can load the hidden option by typing down H. We'll come to the hidden option, hidden line type, and we can load it from here. This already loaded, so I need not load it now. So I can simply click on cancel and come out of this. So right now I have to create this line. First of all, I'll go for a line command. I'll take the reference of this, move it like that, and coincidentally this is at the middle point of the line, so I can click here and I can join it to the midpoint of the line on the other hand side, and we get this line. Now for changing the line type of this, we'll simply select this line, we'll click on the line type option and click on the hidden option to change the line type of this. Actually friends, here I want to make one point very clear to you. Now for changing the line types or changing the color of the geometry, we use the concept of layers. Since we have not worked on the concept of layers, and these concept of layers I'll be covering in the future lectures, so I'm not taking up the layer concept right now. We leave it for the future thing. So right now I am changing the line type directly from this particular option, directly from here. Otherwise we would be using the layer option once we are through with the lecture. So this is how we finish the drawing number 3. Now as far as dimensions are concerned, I am very confident that you can put the dimensions yourself because I have already done it in the previous 2 drawings. So I am leaving the dimensions to you so that you can practice on the dimensions on this particular drawing. So that is your drawing number 3. Friends, the drawing number 4 is another orthographic projection related drawing. Here we have a top view of a component and then we have a front view of the same component, and these 2 projections are always vertically aligned. So let's move to the model space and start working on drawing number 4. So friends, I am starting with the top view of this component. The top view, the outer profile is a rectangle with 72 millimeters as the length and 60 millimeters as the breadth. So we can take the rectangle command. I'll take it in the alignment of this point. I'll simply click here. Then we can type down @72, 60 and we get the rectangle. Then we have another line which is joining the midpoint of this horizontal line to the midpoint of this horizontal line. So you go for a line command. For picking up the midpoints, we should switch on the midpoint option in the object snap, that is already on. So I'll simply pick the midpoint of this line and join it to the midpoint of the other line. Then we have 2 inclined lines, and the starting point of these 2 lines are 12 millimeters away from the midline. 12 millimeters on the left hand side, 12 millimeters on the right hand side. So for that, one quick way could be to take the offset command, set the value to 12 millimeters, pick the midline and offset it towards left hand side and offset the same line towards right hand side. Then the bottom points of these 2 inclined lines are 24 millimeters away on both the directions, on both the sides, left hand side and right hand side. So we can again work with the offset command. I'll change the value to 24, pick the midline and offset it on the left hand side and then offset it on the right hand side. So basically we have used these 4 vertical lines just to take the reference of these distances. Then I can take the line command. I'll join the end point of this line to end point of this line. I'll join the end point of this line to the end point of this line, and these reference lines which we created just for the reference, these 4 vertical lines can be erased later on. So top view is created. Then we come to the front view. For that we again take the rectangle command. I pick this point, take the inference line down there so that both the projections are vertically aligned. I simply click here. In case you want to take the reference of this as well, so we can take the reference of this as well so that this corner is aligned vertically as well and horizontally as well to the drawing on the right hand side. I'll simply click here. Now for making this rectangle, I can use @, the length is 72, the height is 50. So we get a rectangle. And then we explode it so that this rectangle is exploded into its 4 separate lines. After that, this vertical distance is 10 millimeters and this is again 10 millimeters. So we can use the offset command here. I give the value as 10. I'll select this one, offset it down, select it again and offset it down. After that we go for a line command. I'll pick this end point, move it down, we get the inference line. As we come off this line, we get the intersection point. I'll simply click here, join it to the midpoint on this and press enter to come out. Again go for a line command, catch this one, move it down, pick this point on this one and join it to the midpoint of this. In the similar way, we again go for a line command, pick the end point of this line, get the inference line, click on this one, join to the midpoint of this, enter to come out of the command. Again go for a line command, take the reference of this point, you simply click here and join it to the midpoint of this. So we get this particular geometry made. Then we can use the line command. We can just connect this intersection point to this intersection point. Now these two horizontal lines can be erased now. I'll simply select it and erase them. Now just to finish this drawing, I need to remove this line, and for that we have a trim command. We go for a trim command. I select these two inclined lines as the cutting edge, and as I click on this line, we get this middle segment of the line removed, and drawing number 4 is complete. Drawing number 5, we have 3 circles having the radius as 20, 30 and 40 millimeters. Then we'll simply draw a vertical line from the center point of these 3 circles going vertically up, and this particular line will intersect this middle circle somewhere, and on this point, taking this point as the center, we'll again draw 2 circles having the radius of 4 millimeters and 6 millimeters respectively. Then we'll select these 2 circles and we'll simply put them on a polar array, taking the center of these 3 circles as the center of the polar array. So this is how we plan out to finish this drawing number 5. So let's move to the model space and finish this drawing number 5. So friends, to begin with, I'll start with the circle command. We'll go for a circle command by typing down C. I'll keep the center point somewhere here. The radius of the innermost circle is 20. I'll type down 20. Again circle command. I'll catch the center of this. We can pick the center point by switching on the center option in the object snap, which is already on. So I'll pick the center point of this. The next circle radius is 30 millimeters. Another circle, again pick the same center point and the radius is 40 millimeters. So we get 3 circles coming up. Then we go for a line command. I pick the center point of this. The ortho is already on. So I'll just make a vertical line, and this line is intersecting this middle circle somewhere on this point. So that point will be the center point for these 2 smaller circles. So for picking up this point, which is the intersection point, we can go to the object snap, come to the settings, and we can switch on the intersection option. It's already on actually. We go for a circle command, pick this intersection point. Actually the intersection point is the quadrant point of the circle as well. So both the points are same point, so we can pick the quadrant point as well. I'll simply click here, and the inner circle radius is 4. We get the circle. We again pick the same point. The radius this time is 6 millimeters. We get the second circle. Then we go for an array command. I'll select the polar array option. I'll pick the center point as the center of the circle. I'll select these 2 circles. Enter. We go with the total number of items and angle to fill option, because we know that the total number of items are 3. You can count it over here. We have 3 items, 1, 2 and 3. And the total angle that we want to use here is 360 degrees, because we know that a circle makes an angle of 360 degrees on its center. So angle to fill should be 360 degrees. Objects are already selected. You can click on the preview option. If the preview is fine, you're happy with the preview, you can just press enter to commit the command, and drawing number 5 is over. Now to place the dimension, we'll go to the dimension tab. I'll take a radius option this time because all the dimensions are radial dimensions. I'll click over here and we get the dimension here. Then we again go to this radius, the second circle, we get the dimension here. Now friends, here the dimension is coming in a different way. The reason is my dimension style probably is set to a different dimension style. So that we can change by going to the dimension by clicking on dimension style. I'm working with ISO 25 dimension style. I'll simply click on modify. I want the text to come out as horizontal, so I'll switch on horizontal option. I do not want to see millimeter as the suffix, so I can just remove this millimeter thing from there. And we say OK, and then I say set current and close. So you can see that the dimension style is changed, and this is now same as we had in the drawing, original drawing. We again go for a radius option. We click on this one and we get this radius marked. Again the radius option, select the outer circle, and then again a radius option and select the inner circle, and here we are, the drawing number 5 is complete. So friends, I hope you like this lecture and you are very comfortable while working with such simple drawings. And in case you like this lecture, please like this, and do not forget to share it with the friends. If you have not subscribed my channel as yet, please do it now. Please do subscribe it, and do not forget to press bell icon as well, so that you keep notifications on my new lectures uploaded. So thank you so much. See you in the next lecture.